Ambassador Zelthar had always considered the humans to be a curious anomaly in the Galactic Council. Their planet Earth was classified as a Class 12 death world, a designation reserved for planets so hostile that sentient life should have never evolved there, let alone thrived. Yet here they were, representatives of a species that had clawed its way from the bottom of a gravity well twice as deep as standard, from an atmosphere that contained corrosive oxygen, from a world teeming with predators, diseases, and natural disasters that would exterminate most civilized species within a solar rotation. The Council had accepted humanity's application for membership 3 cycles ago, more out of curiosity than genuine belief in their capabilities. After all, what could Deathworlders possibly contribute to a civilization that had mastered faster-than-light travel millennia before humans had discovered fire? Now, as Zelthar's homeworld of Thesara burned beneath orbital bombardment, he understood exactly what they could contribute. The Krynathi swarm had appeared without warning, pouring through an unstable wormhole at the edge of Thessarian space. They were an extragalactic threat, a hive mind of insectoid warriors that consumed everything in their path. Within hours, they had decimated the Thessarian defense fleet. Within days, they had begun their invasion of the planet's surface. Zelthar had sent the distress call from a bunker deep beneath the capital city, knowing it was futile. The nearest Council fleet was 3 weeks away. Thesara would be nothing but bones and ash long before help arrived. The human response came in 4 hours. Thessarian Command, this is Admiral Chen of the UTDF Indomitable. We've received your distress call. The Third Fleet is inbound. Hold your position. Zelthar's subsidiary Hearts had nearly stopped. The United Terran Defense Force was on the far side of Council space, nearly 2 months away at standard FTL speeds. It was impossible. Admiral Chen, Zelthar had transmitted back, his voice trembling. Your assistance is appreciated, but there must be some mistake. Your fleet cannot possibly— We'll be there in 3 hours and 47 minutes, Ambassador. Chen out. The transmission ended, leaving Zelthar staring at his communications officer in disbelief. When the human fleet emerged from FTL at the edge of the system, every functional sensor on Thesara locked onto them. Zelthar watched from the bunker's tactical display, his breathing tubes contracting in involuntary fear. The Council had seen human warships before. They were crude things by galactic standards, blocks of armor and weapons with none of the elegant curves and energy-efficient designs that characterized proper vessels. But there had only been a handful of them during humanity's admission ceremony, small escort craft that served as ceremonial guards. What dropped into Thessarian space was not a handful of escorts. 300 warships materialized in perfect formation, each one bristling with weapons that made no sense by conventional standards. Kinetic accelerators that could punch through shields by sheer brute force, missiles that carried payloads measured in megatons, point defense systems so dense they created walls of depleted uranium slugs, and at the center of the formation, the flagship Indomitable, a dreadnought 3 kilometers long, its hull scarred from battles the Council had never heard about. All ships, this is Admiral Chen. The transmission broadcasted on all frequencies, including those the Krynathi used. You are in violation of Galactic Council space. You have attacked a member species under Council protection. Withdraw immediately or be destroyed. The Krynathi, of course, did not respond. They did not negotiate. They did not retreat. They existed only to consume. Understood, Admiral Chen said calmly. Fire at will. What happened next would be studied in military academies across the galaxy for generations. The human fleet did not fight like the Council. There was no careful maneuvering to preserve ships, no measured exchange of fire, no elegant tactical withdrawals. The humans fought like their planet had taught them to fight, with absolute, overwhelming, terrifying ferocity. They dove straight into the Krynathi swarm, their shields flaring as they absorbed fire that would have crippled Council vessels. Their kinetic weapons roared, each shot carrying the force of small asteroids. Their missiles saturated entire sectors of space with nuclear fire. And when the Krynathi attempted to board, their preferred method of combat, they discovered why exactly Deathworlders were feared. Human soldiers fought in conditions that would kill most species. They wore powered armor that turned them into walking tanks. They wielded weapons designed to stop Earth's megafauna, creatures that made the Krynathi seem almost fragile by comparison. And they fought with a savagery born from millions of years of evolution on a planet that gave no mercy. The Krynathi had never encountered prey that fought back with such fury. They had never faced a species that refused to break, refused to run, refused to die quietly. Within 12 hours, the orbital space around Thesara was clear. Within 24, the Krenathi ground forces were in full retreat. Within 48, the last Krenathi ship was destroyed as it attempted to flee back through the wormhole. Admiral Chen's face appeared on Zelthar's screen, the human looking tired but satisfied. Behind her, Zelthar could see human crew members celebrating, their strange bipedal forms jumping and embracing with joy. "Ambassador Zelthar," Chen said with a slight bow. "Thesara is secure. We're positioning orbital defense platforms and leaving the 47th Battle Group to assist with recovery operations. Our medical ships are already deploying to the surface." "Admiral," Zelthar managed, his voice choked with emotion. How can we possibly thank you?" Chen smiled, and for a moment, Zelthar saw something in her eyes that he had never noticed before. An echo of every predator that had ever stalked Earth's jungles, every storm that had ever ravaged its coasts, every disaster that had ever tested humanity's resolve. Earth had forged its children in fire and fury, and they had emerged as something the galaxy had never seen. "You already did, Ambassador," Chen replied. "You called for help. Where we come from, that's all that matters. No one fights alone, not anymore." As the transmission ended and Zelthar emerged from the bunker to see human dropships landing across his devastated world, he understood something profound. The Council had accepted humanity out of curiosity, wondering what role Deathworlders could play in a civilized galaxy. Now he knew. They were the ones who answered the call. They were the ones who ran toward danger while others ran away. They were the shield that protected the weak and the sword that struck down the wicked. They were, quite simply, exactly what the galaxy needed, and the stars would never be the same again.